At 2 a.m., while the world slept, Ronaldo was training alone. Most people believe greatness is built in stadiums, under floodlights, with thousands watching. But for Cristiano Ronaldo, some of the most important moments of his career happened when no one was there. No cameras, no applause, just silence. At 2 o'clock in the morning, when the world was asleep, Ronaldo was awake. There were nights when his body was exhausted, his legs heavy after training sessions and matches. Nights when logic said rest was enough, but logic never controlled Ronaldo. Obsession did. While teammates slept, he would quietly leave his bed, careful not to wake anyone, and step into a small space at home that had become something sacred, his personal training area. There was no coach shouting instructions, no teammates pushing him, just his reflection in the mirror and a single question repeating in his mind. Was today enough? The answer was almost always no. At 2 a.m., Ronaldo trained not to impress anyone, but to defeat the future version of himself. He worked on core strength, balance, explosiveness, short, controlled movements, perfect form, no wasted energy. Every repetition had purpose, every drop of sweat carried intention. This was not motivation driven by fear of failure. It was hunger, a deep belief that talent alone was never enough, that somewhere in the world someone else was working, and Ronaldo refused to be outworked. The silence of the night suited him. No distractions, no excuses, just discipline. Because for Ronaldo, greatness wasn't built when everyone was watching. It was built when no one was. Those late-night sessions were never about intensity alone. They were about control. Ronaldo understood his body better than anyone. He knew when to push and when to sharpen. At 2 a.m., he wasn't chasing exhaustion, he was chasing precision. Sometimes it was sprint mechanics, sometimes explosive jumps, sometimes endless repetitions focused on balance and stability. Movements so small they looked insignificant, yet powerful enough to change outcomes on the pitch. This was the work fans never saw. Ronaldo believed matches were decided long before kickoff, that the final sprint in the 90th minute was earned hours, days, even weeks earlier, in moments like these. There were nights when his legs burned and his lungs screamed for rest, nights when stopping would have been easy, but stopping was never part of the plan. He pushed through, not because someone told him to, because his standards demanded it. What made these sessions different was solitude. Alone, there was no ego, no comparison, no performance, only honesty. Every weakness became impossible to hide. Every flaw stood exposed, and Ronaldo attacked them relentlessly. He didn't train because he felt inspired. He trained because discipline didn't require inspiration. While others waited for motivation, he relied on routine, on repetition, on sacrifice. At 2 a.m., there were no shortcuts, just work. And slowly, quietly, those nights accumulated. Strength built on top of strength, confidence layered over discipline, until exhaustion stopped being a limit and became an advantage. Many people later asked how Ronaldo could still sprint at full speed in the final minutes, how he could rise higher than defenders, how his body seemed untouched by fatigue. The answer was never magic. It was nights like these. Those 2 a.m. sessions created a gap no talent could close. While rivals recovered, Ronaldo refined. While others protected comfort, he embraced discomfort. He didn't chase balance, he chased dominance. Even injuries didn't stop him. On nights when pain lingered, he adapted, changed movements, reduced load, increased focus. He never skipped the process. He adjusted it, because consistency mattered more than perfection. This mindset shaped everything. It turned discipline into habit, habit into identity, and identity into legacy. Ronaldo often said that confidence comes from preparation. At 2 a.m., alone, with sweat on the floor and silence all around, that confidence was being forged, not loudly, not publicly, but permanently. These moments explained why pressure never broke him, why expectations fueled him instead of crushing him, why he trusted his body when others doubted theirs. Because when the world slept, Ronaldo was already ahead. Looking back, those 2 a.m. sessions were never about football alone. They were about control over oneself, about refusing to negotiate with excuses, about choosing effort when comfort whispered louder. Ronaldo didn't train at that hour because he had to. He trained because he wanted certainty. Certainty that when the moment came, the final sprint, the last jump, the decisive goal, his body would answer. And it always did. The world saw the goals, the trophies, the records, but they never saw the lights on at 2 a.m. They never heard the silence. They never felt the loneliness. That part belonged only to him. This is why Ronaldo was never just talented. Talent opens doors, discipline keeps them open, and obsession pushes you through them when others turn back. While the world slept, he was building something invisible. And when the world woke up, it called it greatness.